I'll instead talk about the fact that the current state of the Carolina Panthers is a massive, massive indictment on David Tepper. The firing of Frank Reich today is a fucking disgrace. Back-to-back seasons fired in the middle of the season is, I think it's the first time it's happened to any head coach ever, and Frank Reich simply does not deserve it. So I had to look back, guys. So under David Tepper's watch, since he purchased the team back in 2018, he is now onto his sixth head coach, if we include interim head coaches. Sixth head coach out of the nine total coaches that the Carolina Panthers have ever had, right? We had Ron Rivera, Perry Fuel interim, Matt Rule, Steve Wilkes interim, Frank Reich now. I don't know. I don't know who's interim now. Chris
Yeah, I don't think
Tabor, I
hasn't been
think.
announced. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Also under his watch, the Panthers have had nine different starting quarterbacks in Taylor Heinicke, Will Greer, Kyle Allen, Teddy Bridgewater, Cam Newton, the second coming of Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, PJ Walker, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young. Under his watch, the Panthers have also traded away CMC, DJ Moore. Why? To amass the draft capital to trade up for Bryce Young. And by the way, the Bears still have next year's first round pick, as we know, and
Which
a
will be
second
the
round
number
pick.
one pick.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. And they still have there's a second round 2025 pick still to come as well from that trade package with the Bears.
Nice.
So, and also a really important note here just around that trade. So by all accounts, Frank Reich actually wanted to use a first overall pick for CJ Stroud. He was really high on CJ Stroud. And it was David Tepper who was the one who was pushing in the direction of Bryce Young. So why the fuck is Frank Reich getting fired for all the issues that have stemmed and go back to this owner who does not get out of the fucking way? And my advice to you, David Tepper, get out of the fucking way.
How?
He had success. Yeah, well, exactly. He had success. He's what, hedge fund billionaire, and he has hubris and comes into an organization thinking, I have these transferable skills. I can just take this fledgling franchise into something great. Guys, we just need to look back. Not too long ago, about a decade ago, San Francisco 49ers, all the pressure they had about a decade ago with Jed York. I remember reading like headlines, the pressure this guy was under after Jim Harbaugh left the 49ers. He hired Jim Tom Sula 1 year, Chip Kelly 1 year, and then
Jared Hayne.
Jared Hayne. Was that other than the Jim Tom Sula?
Yeah, it was in the
exactly.
Jim Tom Sula. Yeah.
Exactly, for the international pathways, exactly. So what he did then was thought, you know what, I'm just going to hand the keys over to two very capable guys called Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Handed the keys over to him and got out of the fucking way. How often do you hear about Jed York these days? You don't hear about Jed York these days at all. How often do you hear about Robert Kraft? 23 years ago, handed the keys over to Bill Belichick. You run the show. Yeah, bit of luck there with Tom Brady, no doubt. But David Tepper has too many fingers and too many pies in that franchise and needs to step the fuck back.
Agreed. Hard to say anything different.
Yeah, very hard to argue. If I'm going to play devil's advocate, though, what's wrong with Frank Reich? Because he's been booted out of two organizations in consecutive years. Everyone, by all accounts, seems to like Jim Irsay as an owner, our favorite drunk uncle, the type of drunk uncle that's probably going to try and fill you up at a party. Seriously, what's wrong with Frank Reich? Maybe there are things happening in the locker room, just to play devil's advocate. Like maybe there are just things happening in the locker room that we don't know about. And I'm not suggesting that Tepper's not a fuckwit, because he probably is. But what I am saying is it all entirely on him, or is there a reason why the second Reich has ended?
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you're right. I think there were some indications that the game has moved beyond Frank Reich. And 62 years old. Yeah, there are a couple of older head coaches that are more innovative than him. Pete Carroll, by way of example.
It happened in Germany too.
But and um, fuck you. Oh my God, John. Anyway, point is, I think you've even said it once before, John. You got to give these things time,
Yeah, I agree.
right? And you're right. I mean, no one knows if Frank Reich is actually the right person for the job. Maybe the game has moved beyond him and he's stuck in his ways, because that has been reported as well. But you can't determine that after 12 weeks of play.
Yeah.
Surely, like the decisions around the trades were made before he got there. Like the Moore package, getting Christian McCaffrey mid last season, like Bryce Young, to be fair to him, and Frank Reich, that's the worst list in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like they are so talent devoid. Like, we talk about a team like the Jets ad nauseum and how much talent they have outside of quarterback or outside of a fit quarterback. Like the Carolina are the worst squad in the league. He's done a reasonable job to win one game, I think. And yeah, I mean, we all knew that Ursay wasn't going to get on with the Reich, but yeah, I don't know. Like maybe you'll never get another head. It is hard to imagine him turning up somewhere else now on a third head coaching. Is it a third or fourth head coaching chance?
It'd be a third head coaching chance, I think. But what I liked about his story was that he was also the first ever starting quarterback for Carolina. You know,
right.
what a really cool story. But if it's 4, that's funny. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3. Yeah, I don't know whose fault it is. But something's got to change in that organization, and at some point, people are going to call for them to just sell the team.
He's only been a head coach at Indy and Carolina. He was OC at the Chargers and Philly before that, and has been a wide receivers or quarterbacks coach at a number of teams before that.
Interim coach in 06 as well.
At the Colts, was he? Yeah, so he must have coached briefly in that first reign. Yeah, Tony Dungy.
Big Peyton Manning, Omaha.
You just had to bring out the Omaha.
Yeah,
Just had to throw it out there.